Hello, 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 and hello. How is everybody tonight? Let's hope everybody is good. See some familiar faces in the chat so far. That's what I like to see. Oh man, I can't pronounce your name, so I'm going to call you Lownut because that looks like the last name is Lownut. Sure. Swing it. What's up? Samuel, what's going on? Jared, howdy. Samuel, always an exciting time of the day. You got that right. You have got that right. It is the Daily Candle Close. Always an exciting time of the day. So let me just shoot this out over to the Discord live now. Okay, well, if I spelled it right, it would have been better. Live now. There we go. Okay. We're good. There's my little update. Bitcoin. Never fails to do exactly what it was supposed to do today. Nothing. A little up and a little down with a small little body in the middle. This is exactly what we were looking for. I wanted it to come a little lower, and I wanted it to go a little higher. But be that as it may, you can't get any better than this, right? This is a smash right up to the swing fail. Instant denial, push down. I believe that should, I don't want to overtalk, so let's just see. Okay, yes. Less volume than earlier, right? Than yesterday. Yesterday, less than the day before, and this is the weekend, right? So we talked about this in the morning update. We talk about this on the Discord. We talk about it all the time. All right, so Monday, big. Tuesday, less. Wednesday, even less. Expect Thursday, Friday to be somewhat the same, right? If we're following the pattern, right? Friday maybe a little bit more of a drop, and then Saturday, Sunday being like disgustingly low, all right? So that's what you got for volume. Now, as far as the downside, right? Not much if we look at the hourly, all right? Not much if we look at the daily. Now, if we look at our hourly, we can start painting like a little bit of a picture on like what's shaking over here. And then we got a little bit, better view of what's going on as far as like a range is concerned. So, we hit our little low point, right? We pushed up, and this was our attempt, and that's our fail. Our fail came down, right? But it came right back up first. It first tried one more time and just couldn't quite make it. Then at that point, we hit this low level, but that low level just sort of sat there. So this area, like 10,160, has pretty much held over the course of the last 12 or so hours. So ever since the morning update, we sort of just been sitting really in between, 10,200 and we'll call it like 10,000. Well, let's go down to 10,150. I mean, even though that's all the way down here, we'll call it because of the wicks. All right, so it's an oddball sort of level because it doesn't exactly have anything going on there, but just above it at 10,189, that's our local 236. All right, so that's what we talked about in the update. That's what we've been talking about for the last 2 weeks, that local level, our high side resistance level, which of course now is above the swing fail, right? Because the swing fail is just continually going lower and lower and lower and lower. And the, our zones aren't changing. All right. So the resistance zone, is still the resistance zone, and that's not going to change until we break and close above it. And then it will become a support zone. Our support zone, right, is in jeopardy, but not just yet. We would need a close below, right, in order to flip this into a resistance zone, and we haven't done that yet. We've maintained so far these 6 days, these 6 candles above our support zone. Now, a really good push, which would have been nice, would have been down to the 100 EMA, daily EMA right here. Now, what I really wanted to see that unfortunately, we didn't get. I wanted to see the big push on a retest, and we didn't get it, right? So this is dominance right here, right? And I was looking for, we come down, we broke our channel right, through range, and I wanted to come back and retest it right away. And I thought that if we got the retest right away, we could have seen a little bit of love back to Bitcoin, a good push up. I wanted to hit the 100 daily MA, get through the swing fail, only just to get rejected again, but I did want to at least acknowledge that the 100 is above price action. And by doing so, we would also increase dominance. Dominance would come up, solidify that this is a broken level that is now retested proper, and then we got the green light to go south. We didn't get that. Dominance is falling, and it's falling rapidly. So take advantage of all those alts while we can, because this is looking pretty good. Now, as far as what we're looking at for dominance, this is the next key level. This is structure level, right? Top size structure was retested once. So that's your flip, right? So you came down, you broke it, you came back, you tested it, and then you pushed back up and made a higher high. Now we're coming back the other way. We come down, we're testing it again. What we need is a clean break, right? And then a pushback from the bottom side as a retest for further continuation down. So these are the levels we're looking at currently. This is just structure high with a retest. So we're finding support on there right now. All right. We do expect this to break, right? Momentum is absolutely with dominance falling further. So we do want to see that break, but we want to see a clean break. We don't want to see this. We don't want to see new range. We want to see a clean break. Clean break push down, come back with the retest, and then come check out the next level. Now, we do have a level over here that, we have to talk about, I guess. So this is for sure a level. We're going to have to deal with that, right? And then, of course, just below that, we have our secondary level. So now this level is a little bit more important, in my opinion. And I'll tell you why. You come up off a huge run and you smack your head on something. You don't know what, but you pull back and you try again. You smacked it again, and then you push down for the biggest, pullback in this run, right? Which is big. That's a big deal. Then when you came back up again, you failed to even hit it, and when you came back the next time, you got rejected again at that same level. Then you had a micro pullback inside of the larger pullback, created your double top with the drop, breakdown, died on the daily at that same level, and then you catapulted up. Okay? Far more impressive than just coming down, finding a low, sitting there for a few days, accumulating, and then pushing back up. All right? So, I feel that this level is a little bit more important than this guy over here. So if we don't stop here, I don't care. But we should get a reaction over here. All right, and that's if we go down that low. We don't want to go, too insane. We just want to look at price action for what it is. And currently what we have is support at structure highs. This is a structure high, come down, find support. We are expecting it to break, come back, get a little retest. When we do, Bitcoin should run for a little bit, especially now after it's, just meandering in its nothingness with the 6 consecutive days down. It's gonna wanna pump up a little bit just to get the juices flowing, and then it could nosedive again after that. That's fine. All right, so that's dominance. I want to talk about, let's just go back to BTC. You know what I'm saying? All right, so back to Bitcoin. Here we go. Here we go. Okay, so again, meandering at the 236 is pretty boring, but say what you will about the price action, other things are moving, okay? Things are moving. And that's what we want to see. You want to be able to trade the market no matter what the market gives you, right? And if within a 24-hour period you're getting 9% on XRP, 5 on Litecoin, 4 on BNB, 30 on Stellar Lumens, IOTA posting 15%, Link going up 11, Neo sitting in there at 6, right? And that's 24 hours. The weekly has been much better. So Bitcoin's been coming down from the swing fail for 6 days straight. 19% on ETH, 24% on XRP, 40% on XLM, another 20 to ADA, 21 to Tron, right? 27 on IOTA. Freaking Atom posting 30% gains. Let's not even talk about Doc that went like 140% out of nowhere, right? So the thing is this. If you're gonna do nothing, and I'm talking to Bitcoin, I'm not talking to you guys, I'm talking to Bitcoin. If you're gonna do nothing, right, then allow us to trade the alt safely. And that is between Bitcoin's price action and the dominance on Bitcoin dropping. That is the recipe for some relief bounces. And that's what we're seeing in the alts. We're seeing a little bit of relief. The idea is this: if the alts have another big leg down, you need to pad it with a little bit. You know what I mean? So if you think of the old saying, one step forward, two step back, or whatever the saying goes, they need to like literally push up, 30, 40, 50% so that they could take another 50, 60% drop. I know it sounds insane, but think about it. If you were to take a 60% drop at where they were currently, some of those would literally be trading at like 2 or 3 sats. And that's like, it's not good. So in order to, let the market do what the market does and cycle the way it needs to cycle, then the alts need to, get out there and get a little love too. And then they can go back to dumping until they all find their yearly lows or yearly bottoms. And they do actually start to create themselves into a run. Something that we can actually trade on a bullish trend. Where we could do continuation trades instead of, reversals. All right, cool. Always an exciting time today. Edmund Barry, what's up? What's up? David Ticoni? I'm gonna call you Dave. Make that easy. CX, you entering this BTC long. From where? Oh, on the site. Yeah, so I saw we got a signal pop in about an hour ago, and it was for this long. So, I looked at it, and, they're looking for a relief, it looks like, on the close. So it's okay. It's very short term. If you look at it, it's very small, right? Entry between 1080, 10120. Target 10350 and 10700. So look at the targets. All right, so 10350 is below our 100. 10350 should be right here. Yeah, just on the bottom side of resistance. So the thing is this, what I talked about this morning about getting the big push up to the 100, that's this trade, essentially, right? But 10350 is the bottom side of resistance. 107 is on the upstairs side. That's all the way up here. All the way up here. So, if I was going to take it, I would be looking at two things. One, the dominance chart that we just looked at, where we found support on structure highs. Two, we got a new candle coming. Daily close is coming. Right? 15 minutes. That should bring volatility into the market, new interest, new buy algos for the bots, blah, blah, blah. It's a whole new trading day for everybody. Every candle we've gotten so far has had some type of push to the upside with some type of push to the downside, and basically just came back to entry and plus or minus a couple bucks, and there you got your daily candle. So if they're looking for dominance as support, and get that push back up to the channel, right? Like I just said, that should bring Bitcoin up. If it brings Bitcoin up, right? Then you got to have some targets in mind upstairs. Now, I don't know about 10,700. I'm not sure what they're looking at for resistance. Me personally, I probably wouldn't go much further than the 100 or the 50. That's just me, all right? So I don't know who made that call. You'd have to ask them what they see and why 10.7. I would probably play it a little bit safer unless I really saw, like maybe something on the 15-minute chart, volume just really increasing. Maybe the funding all of a sudden goes like backwards or switches the other way and the longs stop getting killed. And if that's the case and you got a couple other driving forces, then okay. Then that's an idea to get to 10.7. Personally, for me though, I like the 100, right? And I like the 50, and they're both grouped up right here. To me, that's heavy resistance. I wouldn't really be messing too much above 10.5. And that's a struggle. You could see it's been a struggle just to cross our swing fail line. We haven't crossed the line. I mean, if you want to count this one candle and that one candle, I'm not counting those. Like, you want to cross it like that? All right, we haven't done that in 10 days? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We haven't done that in 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying? So if the catalyst is dominance, finding support on structure levels, that's one thing. If the catalyst is something I know nothing about, then that's totally different. But if the catalyst is just price action, I don't see it. I learn every day too, guys. You know what I'm saying? So someone teaches me what they see at 10.7, I'm all ears and I will listen all day long because I just always want to learn more. I just don't see it. So take that for what it is. All right. But what I do see is 6 days in a row held back by swing fail, finding support again on our support level. So if we hold this again and we end up closing above it, this remains support, right? That won't change. What did we lose though? Right? Big deal. We lost a 20, we lost a 9, we lost a 100, we lost a 50. Right? There's not a whole lot of important MAs left, in this region. Downstairs, you got the 100 daily EMA, you got the 200 daily EMA, and then you got the 200 daily MA. All right? So there's a lot happening down here. There's not a whole lot happening upstairs. And I'm not gonna change my perspective on how I feel about support resistance, just on a dime. You know what I'm saying? So basically, it's like this. If this were any other chart in the world, right? This is resistance. That big black line, that is resistance. And until you get a break and close above it, I'm short. You know what I'm saying? And I would say that on any chart, anywhere, any time frame in the world, it doesn't matter what the asset class is or anything. That's just looking at price action. This is resistance, this is resistance, this is resistance, resistance, resistance. So I don't have any reason to be bullish just yet, outside of like a major pattern forming and like a clear direction breaking out. Now we do have, we love our triangles, so let's throw our little triangle on here. All right, so we do, well, whatever, it's fine. Yeah, we'll do that, and we'll do this. Try to connect them the best we can. Okay, that'll have to do. And again, you would just, it depends how visual of a person you are. Some people just absolutely can't stand that, so then you have to, do that. So they're like, oh, it's that kind of triangle. Yes, it's that kind of triangle. Triangles, yeah, triangles are great. Everybody loves them. They do really cool things. Price action came from the top side, dropped down, right? Up again, touch to the bottom, touch to the top, touch to the bottom, touch to the top. Ho! What's the next move? All right, now the next move should be down. All right. Now, should and shouldn't, I mean, I guess it is what it is, right? The idea for a symmetrical triangle with a preceding uptrend, which locally we'd have to call this a preceding uptrend, right? So locally, the formation was from the preceding uptrend. Crazy. Price came from the upside, right, which is downtrend. So you have a symmetrical triangle that enters at the bottom, right? That's your first anchor. And so typically you get your 3 touches to the top, and your third touch to the bottom should be the breakout, right? So you have your 1 touch to the top and then bottom, 1 touch to the top and then bottom, last touch to the top, and then a breakout to the bottom. So there's a lot of things to look at, and I'm sure you could throw this chart in front of 100 different analysts, and they're going to come up with 100 different things as to why they think it's going to do what it's going to do. Again, like always, we try to go off of probabilities. That's not that it's like the tried and true method, but I mean, that's like, if you're not, right, you're just gambling. So, I mean, I'm sure we got a lot of degenerate gamblers in the audience, but that's not how you consistently make money is by being a degenerate gambler. Like we want to lower our risk by increasing our probabilities. All right. So this is super chop. This is Chop City. We know that, but we also know that the overwhelming structure is this. Lower highs. Okay. Higher to equal lows. Okay. This is their own argument. I'm not here to argue whether this is a lower low or this is a descending triangle or a wet. No. Just looking at it for what it is. Higher lows, all right? If you can't agree on the bottom side, then don't worry about it. Lower highs. Lower highs. Everybody can agree on lower highs because you absolutely cannot deny that this is a lower high than this, and that this is a lower high than this, and that this is a lower high than this. All right, so nobody can disagree on that. All right, and that's what we have to look at. This is Chop City. This is Chop City right here. Chop City. Look at these wicks. Right? Those wicks are targeted to get you out of the trade and provide liquidity for more buyers. Same thing up top. Sellers. All right? So that's the type of market we got to deal with, and it's a tough market. It's brutal. You cut your teeth on this kind of market, you probably trade any market in the world. All right, this is tough. This is tough stuff. And I'm serious. It's a tough market. It really is. So picking and choosing your battles wisely is the best advice I can give you. You know what I mean? Don't want to take every trade, right? You don't want to overexpose yourself to every trade. Because, we do have black swan events. We do have, major events that just like, the whole market tanks 30%. Like you don't want to be exposed in a situation like that, because if you're fighting a couple 100 million people trying to get out of a trade, like when did you put that order in? The big dogs got highly sophisticated bots, right? That'll laser focus in and get that order in priority. Prioritize. All right, anyway. You good? Am I done rambling? All right, Kevin Lewis. That's not your name. So Kevin Lewis is taking everybody out to dinner because he should be doing well. We have talked about Kevin Lewis's coin and his trading pair for quite some time extensively. We've missed you the last few days, ETHUSD. Throwing that out there. Anyway, your trade is looking good. So, back to basics, right? This was the original entry because we didn't get the pullback on our trend break, all right? So, sad face for everybody, no pullback on the trend break. So, we did have an alternate entry, boom, boom, right here, bang, bang. All right, then you had a support level flipped resistance, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we'll call it 6, 7 days of resistance. But we got the clean break. Right above that, more resistance. All right, this was the sure flip. This is when price came down and absolutely found support, nosedive, found a low, pushed up, failed, pushed back again, failed again. This is the level to beat. So that was your next entry, was right here in this box. And you see we just got in right there, perfecto. All right, so big smash, close above, break, come back down, retest, got the buy, push back up again. Now we're looking for hesitation at the 50 on the daily chart. That's this guy right here, the black line with that box right there. So we're looking for an area to pull profits, pull back a little bit, and then rebuy. Now you got a slight pullback, but you front ran that 50 like a mofo. So no dice on the pullback entry on the 50. That was a failed re-entry. You would have had to front run that a lot. All right. So sometimes it's just better to stay in the trade if it's a longer term trade and just ride it out instead of selling and buying back, selling and buying back. Now, if you were just pulling profits, good for you. That is a good area to pull profits. Next on the list was another major area of resistance. Support, clean break, come back, resistance. All right. What do you got over here? You got a clean break. What don't you have? This. Don't have the retest yet. All right. Now you pushed all the way up. Now what I wanted to happen was this right here. I know, want. You never get what you want. See that wick? See that clean break and see that big long wick, and then you see it all pull back and come all the way back over here. Look at the clean break of the level, and then all the way back, right? This took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days to come back and retest it. That's what I'm looking for up here, and I'm looking for it to hit the 100. So I'm looking for this. Follow the arrow. I'm looking for price to come all the way up to the 100, hit it, and then come all the way back down here for a proper flip. All right? Get that proper flip. That is the go line, not only for you, but for a lot of traders. They're looking at that right there. All right, we're not the only ones who study these things. So if that is the case, and you do see massive rejection at the 100, all right, that's where I'd be looking to get back in. And I would probably front run it by a fairly decent amount, okay? Because there's going to be a lot of interested parties right here. Now, if we just go by candlestick patterns, that is not a good candle. That's a shooting star. Generally, shooting star would be at the top of an uptrend, right? And then downside, you'd have a reversal right here. So it is also possible that this is our high for now. Okay? We simply come back early. We get our retest. Right? And then we do this. And then we find our resistance. We just kind of blow past it a little bit, find our resistance, and just kind of hang out on it for a minute before we go further upside. Now, you have other levels in here that are important, right? You got a 236 on the local side, right? You're currently been rejected by that. On the high side, you got a 5 of the major move, or the bigger move, I should say. You're also inside our second bracket, looking to get into bracket 1, right, before the heart line, which is right here on the pitch. All right. So there's a lot of things happening with Ethereum right now. But as long as dominance continues to go down and Bitcoin continues to be sideways or down, then we got it. We got a decent shot here at making a pretty good play. Now, we just closed the candle out. Here comes the volatility, and right away, people are selling. So this may last, you know, we might get the buyback right here. And if that's the case, if this level doesn't hold, then this trend's crap. All right? I mean, I don't know how to break it to you any. That's the level. That's the level. All right? This is the zone. If you come all the way back and you just touch like the 9, you know, or the 50, and then you come back up, that's fine. All right? As long as you close above this level, it's okay. But the idea is you should come back and retest it, especially on the daily. All right. So that's ETHUSD for now. We'll have to sort of wait and see how that thing shakes out. Now that Bitcoin has closed, let's get our numbers. Let's get our little tally over here. Okay, another slightly boring day for the old Corn Master. Opened up at 10,182. We hit a high of 10,263. Low down to 10,080. Closed it at 10,152 for a loss of $43 or 0.43%. So really, again, just another nothing burger. Another day we come up, we hit our head on the swing fail. We push down to, find a lower level than the day prior. And then we just pull back up and we do like a 50% move. So again, just like not much is happening. And that's perfectly okay. All right. Not a big deal that nothing's shaking right now. We have zones, we have patterns, we have support, we have resistance. We have everything you could ever want is right in this local zone, and it's cool. Until we get an explosive move one way or the other, it's kind of like just let it exist. Just let it be there and do its thing so that we could trade some other stuff. And that's sort of like what's shaking on with Bitcoin right now. Now, if there's any major movements up or down, you break and close the swing fail, we're talking. All right? You break the 100 daily EMA, we're talking. All right? But really outside of that, if you just remain in this, descending broadening wedge, then it's fine. We have a range. And if it stays within that range, we're good. It's like tying up like a dog or something on a leash. You know what I mean? Like they're allowed to do basically whatever you think they could do within the range of like the distance you have on that leash. But once like the leash is off, it's like, okay, all right, all eyes are on little Pupster over here because we don't know what the hell he's going to do once he's free. So it's the same deal, right? We have a very tight leash on Bitcoin right now. Very small range, very narrow range, and we're just sort of watching it. As long as it just sort of meanders in this little zone over here, then we're cool. If it starts doing this, then all eyes on Bitcoin again because we gotta figure out what's going on and what the next move is going to be. But for now, we're chilling. All right, so let's see. What's poppin', SP family? Divide. Taconi. I love the name. I'm going to call you Divide, though, because it's David E. And I'm just going to make it Divide. Tony Hassman. I'm going to call you Hasselhoff. Sorry. Link USD analysis. Oh, USD. Got a fellow USD trader in the house. Link. Oh, my old buddy Link. Oh, my old buddy Link. What did you do and what is wrong with this chart? Okay, let's see. These were old. This was originally drawn on a black background, so I don't want to hear any of your wise cracks. All right. classic formation with this big pullback here and the next top. This is like a classic ABCD, so that's all super cool. Oh, I got trends I can't see because they're white. Ay. What a pain. All right. Well, anyway, let's. Do I want to? No, I kind of want to keep it. Oh, all right. Well, hold on. It's going to be messy. You're just going to have to, you're going to have to be okay with it. All right. You guys cool with that? Cool. All right. Let's take the whole picture. I'm not counting that wick right there. Let's take the whole picture from our low to our high. Okay. Now, where do we have support? 706. Cool. Where else do we have support? On the daily, we almost just about touched our 200 MA. Not a ton of history on this particular asset, so very difficult to say, that 200 is doing anything besides just showing up. So we didn't touch it, but it is there. Right? It's existing. Now, good break right here, of course. It's a solid candle. We've seen a lot of relief pumps from a lot of coins, so Link is no different. Besides the fact that it's newer, but I mean, besides that, it's still, it's worthy of getting its love. All right, so local broke and went sideways. Now, this is important because this is how we've behaved in the past. You need to know this. So swing fail for all intents and purposes, this is as legit as it gets. If that price action didn't exist, right, and this is all you had to work with, this level is very important. And what happens when you got that level, you broke it, break and close above, push down, retest, big move to the upside, and then a failed breakout. All right, 1, 2, 3. It took 3 days for it to fail, and it failed on the 50. All right, so that is important. Just because it didn't happen yesterday doesn't mean it's not important. It's very important. Okay, that's important. Not only that, we clearly see the 5 is being respected. Now, the 5 is also a 2618 profit target from this move down here. The pullback move, the big play. All right, 1618, which is our current, almost our current resistance. 1618 is sitting at 186. All right, we're currently trading at 179, so we're getting very close. 2618 sitting at 250.50. 250.50, major area of resistance. That needs to be broken for sure. All right, and when we do come up to that level, it should be pretty strong. Now, a little touchdown Jesus right here, this little, come back down, find support on the 618, and then push up. This is also going to be important because look at the spring we got off of it. This is an excellent buyback right here. And I remember exactly when that happened because we were looking at 192 up to 199, and it tapped 198, and it just smashed right after that. It was a fantastic move. It was a great play, and all things considered, if you took it all the way, it was a 48% rip, or 38% rip. So huge. All right, so don't let Link fool you. Like the distance between these Fibonacci levels is pretty outstanding. So anyway, big level of resistance up top. So now, like this swing fail obviously isn't doing anything for you, right? That already transpired and it was a failure. So now we're going to move this over to something that makes a little bit more sense. And this right here makes a little bit more sense. So now we have from our all-time high to our, basically our median level fail, okay? And then to our current reaction that we're getting today. This is why I'm not, bananas crazy on Link right now, all right? Need to break and close this. There's plenty of room for Link. You don't need to grab the first, 10, 20, 30%. There's so much to go. It's 106% just up to the 236 from current price, right? From current price. So anyway, so what are we looking at here? Well, like everything else, long-term trend break. So I want to see a break and close above and buy the pullback, buy the retest. Now, we got some levels in here for sure. All right. Downstairs level looks like this. That is basically your support. Well, I mean, it's pretty big. Huge freaking level. So we'll narrow that down a little bit. All right. That's your support line. And we'll do that so it's a little bit easier to see. All right. Your resistance line is right above it. It's right here. Failure to break and close anything above this level, right, has been nothing but an issue. And we know this based off of our very local price that just got denied yesterday. All right. Confluence is something we always look for, and this is confluence. Confluence with historical support resistance levels and trend line breakage come down. All right, so trend, failure, resistance level, failure, support level, holding. This is good. It's just not great. All right, I want to see a break and close above. So I expect price to come up, find rejection, pull back, buy it, push back up again. All right. And at that point, you're looking at targets back to the 50 because the 50 is the dude who screwed you last time. So there's like, you got a little revenge over here. That needs to go down. After the 50, you're going for the 100. It's up here. And this is all, if Bitcoin continues to drop. If at any given time, Bitcoin wants to rally, say hello to this. All right, this is your big push. That's your higher low, right? Big swing fail, roll up for your next higher high. Oh, Bitcoin says no. Down you go. Lower lows, all right? All the way down to 150. All the way down to 150. Remember when we were at 4 something, I was like, yeah, I'm looking at like 190 or something as like a good buy-in. And someone's like, it'll never be below 4 again. Okay. Sure. All the way down to 150. That's huge. What sucks is it's not even like a good level. It's a great it's a great psychological level. $1.50, $1.51 to be exact. But it should have came down here. It should have came to 147. That would have made the most sense. So you could see this is what I'm talking about in this market. Everybody front runs everybody else. Look at this junk. You see this? That was your level. That is where you buy. Not up here. You don't buy 151 when your target's 147. Okay? But you have to. This market forces you to. You have to front run. That's why the buy ranges are ranges. It gives you a range. High to low. As long as you get in. It's like, that's the problem, right? That's the problem. So, yeah, so Link looks good. I'm just, I'm not all in yet. You know what I'm saying? I want to see a break and close above the swing, pull back, buy the pullback, and shoot up for the 50. That's what I'm looking at. All right. Let's see. That was Tony Hasselhoff, UP. Hello. Can make the last signal trade BTC USD on Binance. BTC USDT, same target. Take profit, stop loss. Yeah, that's fine. As long as you got liquidity, right? Your Coinbase, Bybit, and BitMEX. So you chose the only one exchange that they did not say it was good for. But it's fine. You know what I mean? Like, if you're going to do that, then you have to do a little legwork. And you have to pull up one of these charts and pull up one of those charts on Binance and see if there's any arbitrage. If price is the same, then it's fine, right? Like on Binance, it's not going to go to 12,000, and on Coinbase, it's only going to go to like 10,080. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not that kind of market anymore. A couple years ago, yeah, not now. Could I check WAN USDT for Samuel? Sure. Yeah, we could talk about Juan Chain. What? WAN. Gotta have more than that, no? No. All right. There we go. All right, so I have to use the USD calculated chart, not the USDT chart, so we have a little bit of history here. Right, so let's see. I'm not going to spend super amounts of time on this. So let's get our major focus levels in here. Okay, something like that. Of course, downstairs was broken. That's a shame. So, take our low side here. Give ourselves, no, actually that looks a lot better. Yep, I like that. So let's do this, and let's put that over there. Boom, 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 boom. Good. Okay, so now we're cooking. Enter on the low, double, triple, push up, fail, double, triple. So a repeatable pattern here. 1, 2, 3. Move it on up. Big pullback. New high. Big drop. All right. 1, 2, 3. Big push above. Big pullback. Swing fail. Slow bleed. So now we got to zoom in a little bit and see what's actually shaking locally. Right? We know that our bigger pattern has been violated. And that's not good. Violation is not good. Okay, now you can do two things with this. You don't necessarily have to take that top wick. You could take that top wick. Right? Because this is one wick off of a candle inside a trend. This is the wick off of your actual trend. That's the last candle in the trend. One or the other, or both. We're going to use both. We want ideas, so we're just going to use both. All right, so downstairs, downstairs, downstairs. We want to see what that ride looks like upstairs. Okay? So now we at least have something to look at here. We have a support level, 1, 2, 3 touches. We know we're valid downstairs. Right? 1, 2. And then it looks like you're on your third, so we're becoming valid here. And then the other one is 1, 2, valid right here. Either way, we had resistance come in. Right, we're sort of struggling a little bit right here. Smaller moves, but these are good, healthy moves. It's a 7% move, huge engulfing candle, which is great. It actually engulfed the last 1, 2, 3, 4 candles all inside of one candle. So 4 candles, 3 of them down, 1 sideways, all inside of one candle. That's a very good bullish engulfing candle right there. Unfortunately, it did make a lower high, but we're still in trend. Price hasn't reversed yet, so you got to give it a chance to actually do something. Right now, we have opened above our 9. All right? That's the first time we've opened above the 9 since somewhere back here. Right here. We opened above the 9, and then we ended up tanking, so that's not ideal, but it is what it is, right? And just keep it honest. All right, so now with that, look for, again, a push below. Now, this swing fail is not all that important because it's super local. Like, this is all just like inside a much bigger, longer play. So, you might not get the full retest. So you look for areas that at least make sense, right? Price came up and then it got rejected. So it got rejected right here. That's obviously a level, right? It was a level before. It's a level now. Let's make it red so it's a little easier to see. Bang. So rejection, rejection, rejection. Okay, that makes sense. Now downstairs, what are you going to do? Well, you got support here, and you got support here. All right. Both areas were held, right? Price came down with wicks, right? Obviously, you know, price came down, pushed back up. This is where we opened, but you came down again and pushed back up again. All right. Same thing over here. You came down again, but now you have support level riding on a trend. Right here, same deal. Push back down, found it, opened up the next day, pushed up, rejection, drop back down, and you're good right here. All right, so you don't want to go too far down on this because you may never get filled, and there's not exactly a great rebuy area. All right, so I'd probably say a decent area to rebuy is going to be right here, right? And I'll make that like blue, and then we'll zoom into the hourly and we'll see the actual price action. All right. So inside of this valley that we've created here, you got price drops down, finds a high. You know what I mean? We gotta do something about that. Bang. Okay. Price comes down, pushes back up, drops back down again, pushes up, swing fail, drops, finds support, push up again. Find major support down below, and then we start trending. Now we're back up. So we got a nice V bottom, push down, found support again. This is that first red line. That's why that area is important, because that was a pullback. Pullback, pushes back up again, finds resistance where on our blue line, bang, bang, push back down, creates another pullback. Pullback, pushes back up, smashes through that line, but does what? Whoosh, comes back and retests it right here. All right. That's why I like that level. You can see that on the daily, and it plays out. It's a good level. It's a good level. Where does it also? Right here. Look at that. Confluence. Okay. Major support. That's your first retrace off the big dump, and then further downside. So that's a good level. Now, is it going to come down there for the buyback? Well, it may, and it may not. You know what I mean? There's not a ton that we could say about this kind of price action. It's a little messy. Hasn't really respected all that much of anything. Now we can take a look at just the local side right here and say, what did this thing actually do? Just in the last little bit here. I want to see what the actual move is. So we sort of like aggressively attack the 886, but all things considered, that is support, right? So support on the 886 is good, right? And we're cool with that. We're cool with that. So the drop down to the 886 is fine. We got no issues with that, right? Reverse course a little bit. Put this over here. This over here. Now the way back up, right? 236, respect, 382. And not much going on here. 5 is where we're hovering right now with, it looks like no attempt to the 618. No major attempt to the 618. Now that wick might not be the winner. That might be the winner. Let's take a look at that. Far more respect. Sometimes you got to move these puppies around, you know what I'm saying? 236, look how perfect that is now. 236. Bang, right here, 236, rejection. Right here, 236, come back, pull back, support, perfect. Where's our blue line? Right on the 382, perfect. Rejection, support, it's perfect. 5 is, 5's okay, 5's okay. You got a little bit of action over here, but really, the big winner is the 618. 618, push down, major level of resistance, push back down again, perfect. All right, so that's good. So if you're playing fibs, really your buying's like the 5 or the 382. I like the blue line personally. I think that line holds a little bit better. You always risk not getting the buy though. You always risk not getting the buy, or you always risk it being too nice. You know, let's say it comes all the way back down here. Let's say it does another 886. Does another 886. Whoo, baby. You're going to be here for a long time. You don't want that. Nobody wants that. Take this over here and let's just get an idea of what's cooking in the house of mystery here. So you could have, I mean, not really just yet, but could potentially be doing some nasties. I don't want to hear it, but you got to at least accept the fact that you may be doing this. And if you are doing that, then clearly a buy here would not be great, and you would want to buy all the way down here. All right, so that's the problem when it comes to trading. It could be this, it could be that, it could be this, it could be that. This is okay for continuation, because we're in a local continuation, and just easy invalidation, right? So you buy it, right? And if you fail the blue line and it goes any lower than this wick, you're out. That's it. Small position side, out of the trade, no more. Then you look for the next target area would be down here, right? And sort of respect trend that you've already developed. Something like that. Okay? That is Juan Chain. All right. So that'll probably wrap it up. Let me just go through the chat real quick here. Possible targets and stop loss. Stop loss, just, you know, like, since you already have that wick down here, if that's your entry, then, you know, I would play this super tight, because you don't want to be like, oh, I got another level of support. Oh, I got another level of support. Oh, I got another, like, no. Dude, be like precise. This is the idea. If this idea is wrong, get the hell out of the trade and look for this. That's the next idea. All right. So I'd be buying this zone, I don't know, 25.76 to like 25.52, probably ladder 3 orders in, somewhere in that ballpark. And then I would be out fairly quick. Now, generally speaking, I'd be out like below the swing low of the current move that got me the high that's bringing me the pullback, which would be right here. But I'm not going to do that this time, because look how close, look how far that is away from the entry, not to mention how close it is to the re-entry on the next idea if this is a wash, right? So I don't want to do that. So I would get out quick, somewhere below this wick. Just get the hell out of it. Just be done with it. And then look for the next area of opportunity. You know what I mean? So depending on when this happens, if it does come down, it could just go up. But depending on when this happens, you could possibly have some confluence with your trend swing fail. This one. That guy. The wider of the two. And that could be a pretty good area for a stop loss. If you violate, you know, it would have to happen like really soon. Otherwise, you're like really in that trade for like a really long time. But if it happened really soon and it violated your buy-in, but found support on trend, that would be okay. But you you have to play that fairly carefully, or, you know, lower your position side to allow for a much larger, loss. All right. So yes, we did that. ETH, yes, we did that. Have I miles? Have I covered XLM? I have not. I can. Let me do that real quick, and then we'll call it a night. XLM, USDT, Binance. Let's see here. Let's go to the daily chart. Of course, everybody knows XLM was cruising today, doing some things. So it broke this level, which is the one everyone's looking at here. So let's take a look at that real quick. Okay, so you have to draw it just right for it to make sense. Otherwise, no one's going to be happy. So right here, it's about as perfect as it gets. Big push up, come back, retest, buy the retest. That's exactly how this works. All right, now you can see like we didn't get any like major resistance, no daily resistance like these levels. That should have been a level right here. It didn't even like, it might have paused for a minute on like the hourly, but you could, the daily just didn't even care. It's just like, whatever, dude. I'm hammering this thing, and that's exactly what it did. So it took it. It took it for a good ride. Probably looking at MAs here, target zones, right? So, you know, you came up to the 100. That's where you got rejection. You found support at the 100 EMA. Support currently on the trend fail. So that's your trend line right here. That's the buyback zone. Push back up. Next level would be the 200 MA, 200 EMA. See if there's any confluence right here. You got some structure levels, but nothing like crazy. You know what I mean? So you got like one support structure level here. That's about it. All right. So that is XLM. All right. DVD, call me this way. What? DVD. I don't know what you got. I'm still going with Divide. I like it. Divide is just nice. You know what I'm saying? It's just a great name. Let's see. Any tips on how to get orders filled? I tried to get in the WTC, BTC, one BTC. Barely got filled on the first and still haven't gotten filled on the second. Did I do XRP? No, I did not. Awesome. Thanks for the WAN analysis. No problem. So we'll do XRP and then we'll talk about that and then we'll call it a night. How's that? All right. Yeah. So if you have trouble getting filled on Bitcoin, I would try getting filled on USD, USDT, or Ethereum, or BNB if you're on Binance. Right. So you'll have more resolution on an Ethereum pair, you know, than you will on a Bitcoin pair. So, you know, like this is X. So let's say it was XRP, and XRP you had trouble getting filled on. So go to XRP USDT. You're still buying XRP, right? So, like, calculate how much XRP you want to buy. You want to buy 10,000 XRP? You want to buy 20,000 XRP? You want to buy 500,000? Like, whatever. That doesn't matter. And then just translate that to, I want to buy, you know, 10,000 XRP using USDT or using Ethereum. And that's fine. And then once you're in, at the end of the day, you still have 10,000 units of XRP. And you want to sell it to Bitcoin, sell it to Bitcoin. That's my suggestion. That's what I do for all super low sat coins, anything like HOT or NPXS, you know, Pundi and those anything like really under 1,000 sats. You know, and I'm like fighting to get in. I just buy them on Ethereum. That's all. Okay, so XRP, again, like this is the important one, but that one's over. You know what I'm saying? Like it meandered off to the side and then it just dumped. So we don't, you know, we're not doing anything with that one right now. This is the next major one, right on the local side. You can see, again, just a meander, not even a retest, just sideways accumulation 100% of the way. Major level, XRP, sitting right here. Okay. So that's your major level for, you know, support on the way down, big break, push up, right? This is exactly, what chart did we just look at? Did exactly the same thing. To the T. Support, push up, make a high, higher low, swing fail, lower high, come back down, support again, push up, another swing fail, violently break, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. We just talked about this. 5 days up, right? So someone's got to tell me because I can't remember. But whatever chart was exactly the same thing. It was probably Ethereum. But anyway, violent break, push back up, got rejections, right? So this support flipped to resistance. And then you come back down again. You made a higher low, swing failed. Now this is different because we had an attempt on the last chart. I believe it was Ethereum. We had an attempt, and it really solidified that this was resistance. You didn't get that here. This is just a pure price action catastrophe over here. This is a full-on rejection mode at your low level, right? That's all resistance. So, that being said, we've definitely seen this move in the past where it's like, bang, you make a nice move up top and you come all the way back down here because that's your real level. That's the legit level. All right. This level, if it was tested once at least, and then came back down, found a higher low, and then made the clean break, all right, then I'm cool with a retest right here. But, because we didn't get that little open void, it's bugging me out a little bit. So I'm not a huge fan of that, but we're going to let it ride for now. Again, quick and easy invalidation, right? This is your buy level. That's your buyback. It came right to it. It already did it. Like it already happened. This is the pullback. That's the buy. Push back up. Remember, you front run everything. So if you front run that level, you'd be in. That's the buy. Rejection at the 100. Next level, 200. That's too close. So now you got to start thinking outside the box here, right? Now we need some new levels. We need some all new. Papa's got a brand new set of levels, and they're right here. All right. So you already hit the 100, or you tried to hit the 100. You got rejected at the 100. Next attempt would generally be the 200 MA or the 200 EMA, depending on which one came first. For this situation, for XRP, they're all wrapped up in the same zone. So you got to go for the level right above that. That's the 382 on the local drop. So the local position, this guy right here, sitting over at 59.99, and the local low sitting somewhere around 24.34, right? Your 382, that's the area that you want to retrace to, right? So that's what you're looking at for now. Buyback on the green, right? Profits on the 5. Overall profits, of course, you want to get back a 1-to-1. Chances are, XRP doesn't really like that. Yeah, it doesn't really like that. Like big aggressive move up, lower high. Big aggressive move up, lower high. Big aggressive move up, lower high. Yeah, I would not be going for a double top for XRP. The highest I would feel comfortable going. 786. 7.8 to the 7.0. Somewhere in that ballpark. But even then, let's be real about it. Even if you bought like now and you played the shorter 7.0, it's a 43% rip and a 50 up to the 7.86. So, fantastic play no matter what you look at. Now, you do have other levels over here, but you sort of absorb those with the MAs. But this whole area is resistance. You can see we kind of tapped out right there as well. So a lot of confluence with these levels. That's one thing you look for is, areas of interest that also have become areas in the past. I like that level right there. So that's support, hesitation, push, big breakdown. So you got a little sandwich pattern in there, hamburger patties. You're all good. A little bit of white cheese in the middle. It's a win. Acted as resistance. Came back resistance again. Resistance again. This is your swing high before the low. So your swing high before the low is an important piece of the puzzle. And this guy right here, rejection, right in the same line. That's essentially where you got rejected here. Front run on the sell side. No big deal. Pull back down. Now, again, worst case scenario, it's come all the way back down here. So if you do, your buying opportunity is running away. So if you're not already in this, I wouldn't go chasing it. There is, the candle just opened, 40 minutes ago. So there's definitely some chance it could come down and play around these levels real quick for a little while. It could come all the way down to the 50 right here. You know what I'm saying? And play off these support levels as resistance. It's possible too. All right, good confluence right here, good levels. This would be my zone right here. I'd be invalidated, you know, just underneath it. And if it continued to go down, I'd be looking over here next as a buy zone. All right. Okay, now that will wrap it up. All right, cool. Everybody good? Thumbs up. Everybody's happy. Everybody's, you know, what did they say in Willy Wonka? Everyone in places, all with shining faces. I can't be the only one who knows that. Anyway, jeez. All right, Miles, thank you. You're welcome. Very good. And awesome. Thanks for the WAN analysis. You are very welcome. Okay, very good. So that'll wrap it up for tonight. You know, we'll everybody, all eyes on dominance. Okay, we do have we do have buying coming back. Not buying. We do have dominance pushing back up again. All right, so this could be, you know, this could be what we were talking about. So when we were talking about that signal for BTC long, right? Again, it's the same deal. So if dominance goes up, we're expecting Bitcoin to go up. Now, again, for me, I'm sort of looking at that 100. 10.7 seems high, but just play your cards right. In this choppy market, I'm not a big fan of you know, 2, 3, 4, 5 targets. You know, one target, in, out, get the hell out of the trade and be done with it. Look for the next trade and rock and roll. If we do go up to the 100, the 100 is currently sitting at 10.495. All right. Swing fail is sitting, you know, like 10.234 ballpark. And then, you know, you got your 382 all the way up here. You got your 100 trend. You got a lot of things happening. All right. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how that plays out. All right. So everybody have a great night. I appreciate you guys coming out here, hanging out, talking some crypto. Want to see you guys on the exchanges, and happy trading.